So now that we have the teleport access card, we can actually start going places. That is, places we've already been to. Being in the water isn't very fun, since you're kind of slow when you try and move around in it, so we need something to deal with that. But first, we need to actually get out of here. And since acquiring that card last time, we can actually go and do something about it. I think we'll be heading back to the main cavern complex, which we haven't been back to since, well, really the first part of the game, really. I mean, there hasn't exactly been a reason to go back there just yet, but now that we're passing through, might as well get some business done while we're at it. That amoeba-like thing can do damage to you over time, so if you just do the circling pattern, you can probably get away with it most of the time. We'll just hop out. And we'll head back to the teleporter after going through all these enemies. Last time we acquired the hook shot, which allows us to reach hard to reach places. And we'll be using that for something that you might not be thinking about. I don't think that healing really does much in this case, but hey, don't wanna risk the chance of dying. Those eyes are really getting a good look at us. Not that we ever know who actually is behind those eyes. So let's move on. The nearest one... well, this isn't quite the nearest one, but this happens to have a save point right next to a teleporter. That's why I like using it. At least up to a certain point. Oh yeah, the hookshot can override those air currents, so you can actually use them to get further on. It seems that we need to get to the AI mainframe. Maybe not, but who knows. In any case, it looks like we won't be getting to it right now, so yeah. Just trying to get up there, but even in our current state, our jump isn't quite good enough for that, so we'll remedy that in a moment. I thought about just walking out and taking the elevator down, but then again, why not just take the teleport direct? There's also another item I want to collect, and you might want to as well. That being said, it requires a lot of health to get to, because you're gonna be taking damage willfully this time around. You might wanna be careful and make a save before you try this. What you wanna do is jump straight into the water, shoot through the ugly blocks and grab the map. It's a rough outline of where everything is, so it's a good thing to have. And as you can see, my health is nearly entirely empty. I mean, you need probably the full 18 health to get this point. Otherwise, you're probably going to die if you try to get it. We'll just heal up and we'll keep going. As you can see, there's an outline of everything, as well as locations of the various teleporters around here. All marked by little dots. Considering that we can now actually use the teleporter, it's pretty useful to know where all the other ones are. That way if we happen across them, we can easily get back there once again. Now I know there is something up there, but I don't think we can get to it just yet. Even so, maybe if I do it right, maybe I can get across there. Nope. And then one more try. No. Okay. I think it might be possible to get there with the hookshot and jump booster, but it's probably not worth your time if you want to get it, because if you tend to make mistakes, you're not really going to get it on the first go. That's for sure. Anyway, now that we're back here, we can actually get beyond this little bit of rubble. And over here's another teleporter. So now we can come back here as well, just by teleporting between everything. Can't quite get up there. Just a little bit out of reach. Oh well. Back to this main room with the pool of water. Good. The gate still opens. I'd hate to think that someone would be secretly turning everything off again. But nothing of the sort's happened, so let's go ahead and climb up here. Because we can actually grab another item right now, actually. So as you can see, yellow blocks and the charged pink blocks. You can double jump across them. And there's a whole bunch of fish over here. The pink one is especially dangerous since it can actually shoot out its spikes, I guess. Anyway, now that we're through here, let's go up and get to the second part. We need to get ourselves a damage so we can jump boost. Because when you get hit, your hit counter, or rather your jump counter, doesn't get affected by this change, so you can effectively use your double jump as an extra boost, because I can't exactly use the hook shot here. Of course, the risk is damage, but our reward is the Dash Booster V, which is the vertical dash. It can be used as a dodge move, although the vertical variant isn't exactly suited for dodging. But you can also break through red blocks, which is something we've spotted a couple of times around. Now it's just a matter of getting back to a save point before we die, and have to do the whole thing over. Just gonna wander past the spiked fish. And back down we go. Avoiding all damage as we go. Or as much as we can possibly do. So, now we have the vertical boost. Which is, well, if you look on the bottom right side of the game display, you can see that the map and the vertical dash upgrade is actually a little bit further away than it was intentionally done, so yay for sequence breaking. It means we don't need to use the hook shot to get up here. Apparently, underground path? Why not just dive into the quicksand? Wander along here. Yeah, looks like there's quite a bit of fun to be had with the grappling hook. But for the sake of this, I probably won't make too many attempts, because those blocks that are lining horizontally are all blocks that force you downwards. The logic doesn't make much sense in reality, but even so, we have to abide by what the game says, so we'll have to leave that for now and come back later. Save point here is good to have, so we can actually heal up and keep on going. As you can see, there's no way we're getting back up there now to have another go. Anyway, this area is a little bit complex. There's a lot of bugs around here as well, including a big nest cluster. But you want to do the same thing as the amoebas, you want to circle around them, making sure not to get hit. But then they release those flying moths, which aren't exactly the most pleasant of experiences to have. Especially if you get hit really close to them, and they burst open, you'll get hit by more enemies. This is, out of all the places in the game, I probably have the most trouble with, since there's so many enemies that like to track you by homing in without having to really worry about the collision that has. Ow. Thankfully, we're away from all that now, so we'll take a save, and we're finally nearing our destination. Great. Water! And no, we can't exactly skip out on this water sequence. There's a couple of upgrades we want here, so we need to be on the lookout for those. Huh, looks like this place was a little bit damaged. And another power-up is hiding right there. Plasma field. I wonder what that is. You might recognize this room from one of the screenshots from the development thread if you've been looking at it, such as myself. Of course, trying to do what the GIF did and trying to get it perfectly on the first go just seems to elude me this time around. So we're just gonna have to deal with a couple less health. Over here, this terminal describes the various blocks. An energy dash will destroy red blocks, and a charge shot will destroy blue blocks. As for the green blocks, it's not exactly clear what they are. Now, normally you'd kind of have to go around to deal with it, but since we have the vertical dash, we can actually get away with this. Gotta be careful with the current though, you can't dash while in water. So you gotta make do with our swimming ability to just barely get out of the way. Now we have the pink jellyfish. I mean, they kind of have some resemblance to bloopers, I guess in their behaviour and such. Not so much in the Metroidvania kind of resemblance though. I mean, Super Metroid certainly didn't have jellyfish. Probably felt that they didn't look menacing enough, I guess the team would have thought. But yeesh, there is a lot of jellyfish here. Makes me wonder how vital they are to maintaining an ecosystem. Part of me was kind of hoping there'd be like some kind of shark-like creature here, but don't think we have anything of the sort here. We do have jellyfish that can shoot electricity at us. Who would have thought jellyfish could be described as vicious? Looks like there's a power-up to be had here to help our movement. But of course, we didn't have the power-up for that. Anyway, these green blocks here are triggered by a hook shot, and they trigger a switch, and they apply to all switches universally. They'll swap out for on for off for on, and that about is the gist of things. That being said, running into a bit of trouble with these jellyfish. They're everywhere, and they're doing a bit of a number on me, so we'll retreat for now. And we might be able to see what's going on next time. There was a couple of green blocks back at near the beginning of the sector, so maybe we can see what's beyond there. But that's for next time. We'll just break back through, try not to get ourselves killed, because health is pretty limited in this game. So yeah, as you can see, those blocks have changed, and we can actually jump up here now without the use of the vertical dash. It's still a nice thing to have, because it basically means you get to dodge.